Hey guys, welcome to the Lioness Mum Project TV show. Today we have Mary joining us. Mary jumped in for the 30-day Lioness Mum trial. She got incredible results, even though she was breastfeeding. And I brought her onto the call because hopefully she can inspire you, if you have a newborn, to make that leap and actually take that time to focus on yourself and get truly life-transforming results. So welcome, Mary. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, very well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And don't worry if Jacob's making noise in the background. This is real life, so anyone watching this is going to understand.
He's distracted with a toy at the moment, but not for long.
If he wants to jump into the call, just allow it. So, for anyone watching that doesn't know you, Mary, just go into a little bit more detail about yourself.
Well, Jacob he's 5 months old now, but he was 4 months old when I started this. And basically I'm breastfeeding. I was a little bit worried to start with about the intermittent fasting and everything like that, because all I was told all the time was like you have to sort of have regular snacks and otherwise it affects your milk supply and everything. But I learned that it didn't affect it at all. That's not the case. I didn't have any less energy because of it.
Great.
And yeah, basically it really worked for me as well. And you do get used to it. There's some days that you struggle.
Of course, but we're humans.
You get through it. And
yeah.
I think the whole Lioness Mum thing, all the moves that you do, like the meditation and sort of planning your day and everything, it really makes a difference to the losing weight, because it just keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
And it keeps you going through those difficult stages, really. And
that's right.
It's good to have the support of the others as well, because I don't think you'd be able to do it on your own. Definitely not.
No, and often the things that we try, we tend to they tend to be on their own. Like if you join a gym, you tend to do it alone. If you start a diet, you're doing it on your own, and it just feels like that constant battle, doesn't it? Whereas actually, like if you're at war and battling every single day, that is soon going to grind your motivation down.
Yeah.
And hence why, like in the end, you're just going to fall off that wagon, and then those results you might have got in the short term will just come flying back on again.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people watching this have been through that cycle, so they fully understand. So when you joined the Lioness Mum Project just over a month ago, Mary, what were you trying to get out of something like this?
Well, initially I thought it was sort of the trying to lose a bit of weight, that kind of thing. But it sort of, you'll find out sort of when you start it, but it does go a lot deeper than that.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
Really does. You don't until you go into that pit, Ross. You don't know. You
definitely don't. And the pit is a dark place, but it's a necessity as well.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Everything in this course is there for a reason.
Yeah.
And Mary was, so anyone watching this, Mary was that typical call that I often get. Like, I want to lose weight, so it'll make me happy. Like, I'll be happier when I lose this weight.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, what we do in this project is we tap into a completely different angle. And I actually say, well, actually, how about we become happier to lose the weight? So we completely flip it on our head. Because everything that you've tried to do, and if you're trying to lose weight and you're not happy, you are never going to be able to sustain those results. It's as simple as that. Whereas what we've understood over the last month, Mary, isn't it, that we actually, by shifting our mindset of being happy in the moment and being happy in the now and happy with the journey, that then opens up the doors for you to be consistent, turn up every day, enjoy the process, and then get those long sustainable results.
Yeah, definitely. And setting the goals and looking ahead, it definitely makes a difference. Otherwise, you're just looking to the next day, and then you think, or you're focusing on that day when maybe you haven't been as successful, and then you think, well, I can still do this, and I'm not going to carry on and do it. So
yeah, definitely. So we know the reasons why you've joined now. What were the biggest changes that you've noticed in yourself over the last 30 days?
A lot more positive, more organised, getting a lot more stuff done. Focusing a lot more on what I can do than what I can't do, because obviously the restrictions of having a 4 or 5 month old baby. A bit more confident, and also obviously the whole, I lost 5 kilos, lost some inches around my waist as well. I can't think how much exactly now, but it was
that's
definitely
fine.
some.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it's just, and obviously having the support of the other lionesses, that really motivates you as well. It's just sort of generally more positive.
Hey, I love the way you were saying that. You were just listing off things, and then like just at the end, oh yeah, and I lost 5 kilos, and then like what? Stop right there! You lost 5 kilos? What the hell?
Well, that's
People
the
don't lose
bit I
5
started
kilos in one month.
focusing on, and that's the bit that probably, I don't know, it's still good, but it's probably the bit that was like least down the list of priorities now. I think.
That's right. That's what we do, because you're now thinking differently.
Yeah.
Like, the weight's brilliant, and yes, that's a part of this program.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Like, that's a big part of this program, but it is just a bonus. But to lose 5 kilos in 30 days is incredible, Mary. You should be super proud of yourself, but also in a safe way. So there's lots of advice out there that will say, well, you can't do that because you're breastfeeding, or like you're a new mum, so you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you're actually told all of those things. So that stops you making the steps forward, and often keeps you in that pit that we mentioned where you are unhappy because people are telling you that you can't do things. And what this program does, it uses real scientific research, not just what you have heard on the grapevine or read in the Daily Mail or any of that kind of stuff, but real scientific research to actually help new mums become happier and actually lose that weight in a healthy way. And as Mary mentioned at the start, we take breastfeeding into account, we put that in the calorie deficit, but you can still get a tremendous amount of weight loss, but still have the benefits of the breastfeeding. So as Mary said, it hasn't affected the breast milk or anything like that. Like, so one of the fears is if you are losing weight, that your breast milk's going to dry up. So how have you found that? Would you say that's true?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I even once I started doing it, I spoke to someone I know who's a midwife, and she said your body will just produce as much milk as it needs, whether you sort of eat loads or not. Basically, it will just supply its own, which obviously benefits you in some ways, because then you do burn more calories. And it's not affected how satisfied he is after a feed or anything. It's just been, I've not noticed any difference with that at all. I mean, to start with, I was sort of by the time it got to like middle of the morning, I was just like, how am I going to make it until lunchtime? But that you just get used to it. It's like anything that would be the same whether I was breastfeeding or not. So
absolutely.
Just by the time it's lunchtime, he's like had 3, sometimes 4 feeds, and I've had nothing, and I'm like, it's so unfair.
How dare you, sucking the energy out of you. That's fantastic, because it's true. Like, scientific research will say, as long as you're hydrated, which you can do in the fasting windows, and then that will not affect the breast milk. And
and I've been drinking a lot more water, and it's great for your skin.
Good. So that's another benefit
to my skin.
Brilliant. Great. That's another great benefit that that will come out of this kind of program. Not just the weight loss, but the health benefits that come through that. And what's been funny as well, like, you to lose like 11 pounds, 5 kilos, it hasn't been through like just starving you or making you work out for hours a day, or like giving you unrealistic things to do throughout your day. So how would you say this has managed to fit around your life, like with a small baby?
Well, if you're planning it, then and if you get the exercise done early, I find it makes a massive difference as well, because then you know that it's done, and it really sets you up for the day. It kind of makes you feel more positive in that I've done that now, I can move on to the next thing. Whereas I think if you try and somehow put it off, saying, oh, I can't do that now, I've got to do this instead, I think it just makes it more difficult for yourself.
Definitely.
It doesn't mean it's impossible, and a lot of other people probably, it does suit them better to do it later, but personally, I think with a younger baby, you do have the opportunity to do that more in the mornings, because when it gets to later in the day, they tend to be a bit more fussy, and
absolutely,
and then it's too late.
Exactly that. How many of us out there are have got up and planned to do work and exercise in the morning, but like decided to hit the snooze button and like, oh, I'll do it later though. I'll do it in the afternoon, and then something comes up, inevitably you miss it.
Exactly.
Oh, it's okay. I'll do it in the evening, and then suddenly, it's too late, or I've got dinner to cook.
Or you're too tired, or something.
Exactly that. So, and that's why this is important, and this is a big part of the Lioness Mum Project. We transform your morning routine. So instead of it being like get up like as late as possible and then frantically rush around to get things sorted so you can leave on time, we actually give you that bit of calm in the morning, which then sets you up the day to then like ultimately win your day and give it everything that you've got.
Exactly. It's brilliant, and it's sort of it's something that you can continue with. You just got to, I think, keeping that positive frame of mind, and don't let it. I mean, it's not obviously the same, and you haven't got all the support on it, but I think you just have to kind of, once you've had that initially, I think you can still maintain it. I mean, I've managed to so far, so.
Great. And let's talk a little bit deeper into that support network and the Facebook group of other lionesses. Like, how beneficial was it to have other mums do this journey with you?
Really beneficial. I think you couldn't have done it without them. It's just you don't realize how like you're in the same boat as everyone else, and how you can kind of support each other just by different experiences that other people have had, or like at the same, if you're having a bad day and everyone will just kind of send you some nice messages saying you know you can do this, just silly little things like that, and say it wasn't a great day today, but there's always tomorrow, and then it's just
so simple.
It's really good.
Yeah, something so simple. And someone in your position, Mary, like young baby, I remember when Ezekiel was just 4 months old, and speaking to Kirsty, and it's so easy to feel isolated as a new mum and just like lonely and feel like you're on your own and feel like it's just you going through this. But by opening up a support network of other mums that might be in the same position as you, it just lets you know that, hold up, it's okay to feel this. It's okay to be where I am. And when you see other mums that are making that transformation and making those changes, it automatically just draws you up to their level. Yeah,
definitely. It makes such a difference. And I think it really, it's kind of, it makes you think that there are other people in the same boat as you. And that actually helps sort of emotionally as well, and sort of mentally. So
it's a place to either vent your frustrations or just talk about something completely irrelevant, but you just know that actually like someone else is going to be able to there to just support you and talk to you about real stuff, not the mask that we put onto everyone else saying we're fine, everything's great, like answering like the boring questions like how's he sleeping. And you're just like, well, I've answered this question about 1 million times. Like, it's sleeping right. But like real things that we want to be talking about. Be just as open as possible. So it's been lovely to talk to you, Mary. I'm buzzing for your results in such a short amount of time. More so the shift in mindset. Because I remember our application call, and I remember you reaching out like for help, and I'm glad that I've been able to provide you the tools, and you've been flexible and open enough to use the tools to work in your favor. That is exactly what this program is about. And it's no coincidence that you've lost 11 pounds, 5 kilos, and got amazing results, because you've gone all in and given it everything, and inspired others to do amazing things in the group as well. So I can't thank you enough for being a part of this journey the last 30 days. And great. I'm glad that you've enjoyed it. And so I'm going to leave you with one more question. And I always finish these calls with this question. If there's a mum who's in a similar boat to you, maybe they're on maternity leave, they've got a young baby, they're breastfeeding, they've been told like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, like restriction. You have to wait a year before you focus on yourself. Like, say they've been told that kind of stuff in the past. They watch this video, but they're still sitting on the fence. They're not sure whether to give this a go. Maybe they'll try Weight Watchers again. Maybe they'll try Slimming World again, or go join a gym. Like, what would you say to that person right now?
Just do it, because you won't get the support from anywhere else. You can't do it on your own. It's just not. It's not going to be possible. You don't get that support like from you and from the other lionesses as well. And that's what makes the big difference. You can't. I wouldn't. If I think back now, if I tried to do this by myself, it wouldn't have worked, because for a start, I had so many questions about different things that everyone else was able to answer, or you were able to answer, whereas what would I have done without that? So I could Google it, but don't go into Google, because you just scare yourself.
All the other outside noise. That's right.
Yeah, because that's what happened when I first started. When I first gave birth, it was literally just like Googling stuff. How do you do that? How do you do this? And it's just like, you read so much stuff and half of it's just not even true.
That's so true. So to have the confidence.
That's the same with everything.
Yeah.
So just do it. It gives you that push, and you need to do it, because it'll really change. It'll just make you so much more positive.
Great. Mary, what a lovely way to summarize your 30-day journey with the Lioness Mum Project. And you've hit the nail on the head. Like, just by going into this, it will give you the confidence that you're on the right journey. So you don't have to listen to everyone else's opinions, like everyone does have, and like different, like, no, try this, no, try this, no, try this. But this has been specifically designed to help mums.
Yeah.
It's all got like all the scientific research, 10 plus years of experience and knowledge has gone into this project to let you know that actually, like, you can trust me, come join this journey. Like, not only have I done it myself, I did it with my partner, and now we're doing it with hundreds of other mums who have proven that this is the right system to go by.
Yeah, do it.
do it. Mary, thank you so much for spending time with us. Jacob was wonderful. He was brilliant.
Dan's back now,
he
so
was
Dan's
the star of the
him,
show.
but he was pretty quiet for him.
He was good.
He just listens to me talking. It's like, what are you going on about, Mum?
Just staring at you like, why are you talking into the phone like this far away from your face? So thank you so much for your time. I'll let you get back to your busy mum life. I really appreciate and respect your journey over the last 30 days. Thank you so much for being so open-minded, learning loads of new things. Like you mentioned, it isn't easy. Like, learning new stuff is hard, but the fact is we need to shift our mindset from thinking that everything, like, that we're looking for something that's easy, because that thing does not exist. Nothing easy is going to make the big changes. It's as simple as that. And when we understand that and accept that, then you can finally make the transformations that you have, Mary.
Yeah, I agree.
So thank you very much for joining us, Mary. I can let you leave now and go back to winning your day, and you just keep us all posted on your future results over the next 3 months.
I will do. Yeah. Thank you.
You take care.
Bye.
See you later. So that was Mary's journey on the 30-day Lioness Mum Project trial. As you saw, she was a new mum, breastfeeding, had been told like hundreds of different pieces of advice. She didn't even know where to start. She was being distracted, maybe going over here, maybe going over there. But what she found with this course was it just gave her clarity. It gave her a platform to be herself and to understand that it was okay to have the feelings that she was feeling. She was no longer isolated. And as a team with the other lionesses, she was able to move forward. And as she said, actually focus on the mindset side of things. That was her big transformation. And then, oh, by the way, I lost 5 kilos in a month. Like, what? That's crazy. You came here to lose weight and you're just mentioning that at the bottom of the list, because that's what it ends up. When we change the way you're thinking, we make true life transformations here at the Lioness Mum Project, not just focusing on weight. That is just one of the bonuses for joining this pride. So if you want to be next Lioness Mum transformation story, and if you want me to be interviewing you a month from now, talking about your life transformations and how happy you are right now, then I need you to make the first courageous steps to apply to be my next Lioness Mum. If you're in the next 5 mums to apply to be the next transformation story, I'm going to reward you for being an action taker and knock 50% off my coaching fees. What that's going to do is that's going to make this just the price of 1 coffee a day. So if you are ready to make the change and ready to be open-minded and learn and make true life transformations, then now is the time to click on the link below and start that application process. If you pass that application process, you too can have a story like Mary's, not just losing an amazing amount of weight, looking brilliant within just a month, but you can actually move forwards and actually have some inspiration and thrive in motherhood rather than just surviving the daily grind. So if you want to make that true transformation, guys, make that leap. Click on the link below, contact me and start your application process now. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in today at the Lioness Mum TV show. I respect and honor all of you for giving up your time to watch us and listen to Mary's story. Now, if that story resonates with you, stop procrastinating on this decision and just go for it. Be courageous and step in. You've got nothing to lose other than a ton of weight and those old fears and your old self in your journey to ultimate happiness. So I'm going to wrap it up on that today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.